am Al. Welcome to CiNEMACHiNE. This week we'll be watching, once again, Brandon's movie of choice because you all voted for it. But we also have a very special guest, Chris. Everybody, welcome Chris to the podcast here.
Hey, Chris.
Thanks for having me back, guys. But this is the first CiNEMACHiNE. It was only Capecast before. I'm stepping up.
Yeah, so...
If Brandon seems a little more animated tonight, it's because he just found out you can rearrange the tiles in the Zoom call.
Yeah. Well, the problem is going to be that this is a mirrored video, so it's actually going to be wrong when we export the video. So I'll be looking in the wrong direction still.
If not, I'll make sure you're looking in the wrong direction. So anyway,
there you go. Sabotage.
That's what friends are for. Well, we want to make sure everybody knows how to get in touch with us right out the gate. So Ryan, will you please tell everybody how to get in touch with us?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
On Instagram, you can find us at CiNEMACHiNE but the easiest thing to do would be to drop down the comments and let us know what you think of the video, what you think of the movie we're reviewing. If there's things you like about the show, suggestions, we're always open to that. So reach out, let us know.
I usually get you on your cell.
Yeah.
There we go. Thanks so much. Well, of course, we got Brandon, we've got Ryan, and of course, everybody knows that we have Chris with us. He's the most peaceful one of us all.
He's
up here.
kind of a big deal.
He's apparently he's a big deal. So this week we watched the movie that you all voted on, the movie that Brandon chose. The guy's on a streak. I don't know if his pity party's working, but let's calm down out there, okay? This is getting annoying. Wind River is the movie that we watched this week. This was released August 4th, 2017. Directed and written by Taylor Sheridan. Budget of $11 million, box office of almost $44 million. The synopsis of this movie is Corey Lambert is a wildlife officer who finds the body of an 18-year-old woman on an American Indian reservation in snowy Wyoming. When the autopsy reveals that she was raped, FBI agent Jane Banner arrives to investigate. Teaming up with Lambert as a guide, the duo soon find that their lives are in danger while trying to solve the mystery of the teen's death. This movie stars Jeremy Renner, Elizabeth Olsen, Graham Greene, Kelsey Chow, Gil Birmingham, Julia Jones, John Bernthal. All right, folks, I think we have to go guest first. Chris, what's your initial thoughts of this movie? You don't have to get into the weeds, just your initial thoughts.
My initial thoughts are all positive. I love this movie from like almost any angle. Just I watched it again today because it'd been probably a year or so since I'd seen it last. And I mean, me looking for flaws is like, well, that one guy with the one line he had in this movie wasn't selling it. But I mean, I love this movie. I think it's great.
Okay. Had you seen it before or is this your first time?
I had first seen it when it first hit like home video streaming services. So like end of 2017.
Yeah. Okay.
And for me, I mean, I had never really heard much about it up till then. And it seemed like anybody I'd talked to after that didn't either. So like I put so many people onto this movie, like, you ever seen Wind River? Go see this now. So this one's up there for me.
Okay. Awesome. Brandon, sitting in the winner's circle. This is your first time watching it.
Brandon's John Bernthal.
So many people have asked you to watch this over the years, and kind of by pressure of the podcast, you nominated it, and you have finally watched it after hearing many good things. So it could have been ruined for you. What were your initial thoughts?
Yeah, all three of you have
ruined it for me.
This to me.
Do it again.
Now, all three of you guys have at some point, many times, recommended this movie. And it sat on my Netflix queue for a long time until it left Netflix, and then I had to borrow Ryan's Voodoo login to watch it. But I so a lot of hype going into it from you guys, and I didn't know what this movie was about. I knew it was an outdoors movie. I knew it had to be. Chris and Ryan both were raving about it. And the cover kind of...
Chris and Ryan both liked it, so it had to be an outdoors movie.
That's the common ground with you two.
I was weirded out when Al said he liked it. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. I knew that Taylor Sheridan wrote it, directed it. I'm a fan of that guy.
Fanny.
I think this is his second directorial effort. I think the first one was a smaller type project, but this was definitely his first big one. Anyway, I say all that to say I liked it. I liked it a good bit. I have some critiques of it, but overall, I love the setting. I love the premise. I think the writing is much better than the directing. But I mean, it's his first big movie, so I'll give him a break. But yeah, I love John Bernthal, so I wish we could have had more of him.
You guys should get him on here one day.
Maybe.
I mean,
I'll text him.
We get those kind of pulls now. I mean, we try
Look,
not to do.
Al's interviewing directors all of a sudden, so who knows? You know.
So, yeah. I mean, we'll eventually have folks on. What we're trying to do is make sure that everybody knows the show's pure. We don't want to pull it down with a bunch of celebrities.
Yeah.
Ryan, I think we know your initial thoughts because you and I have kind of gone on and on about this, and Brandon just kind of said again our thoughts. But when did you first see this, and what were your initial thoughts when you first saw it?
This was one that I was really looking forward to it coming out, and I bought it full price when it came out on home release. I will say, kind of what we've talked about, Chris and I both tend to have a weakness for outdoor movies. We kind of bonded over that time period when what's the name of the Leo DiCaprio? Revenant, and you know, The Edge. Which Grizzly scene was better? And this movie just happened to come out around that time. And it was my favorite movie of the year when it came out. So suffice it to say, positive.
Okay. All right.
Positive.
Yeah. I enjoyed this movie. This was kind of a surprise movie for me when I first saw it, and I saw it. I totally missed it in theaters because there was a lot of movies that year, and I don't remember what was going on, but I was really busy and didn't get to the theater as much, so I kind of had to absorb more at home that year.
You were probably just like gearing up for Justice League because it was coming out in a few months.
Right now.
No, that doesn't sound right. Justice League's coming out in a few months.
Oh,
from now.
that's right. Yeah.
So
this is exhausting.
Thor.
Anyway, so
Thor Ragnarok.
My time to talk. Anyway, I ended up catching this on Netflix as well, and I enjoyed it a great deal. But I had known that I wanted to see it from the trailers, and I wanted to go see it in the theater. I just didn't get a chance. For some odd reason, I just remember it not being in theaters that long. I could be totally incorrect about that, but it just felt like it had a short run, shorter than most movies, and I think that kind of led to me watching it on Netflix eventually. But I echoed how much I liked this movie around to everybody that I knew in my little echo chamber, and some people watched it and they tend to agree that it was a good movie, and then some didn't. And some people I had to say, well, it's the same guy that wrote Sicario. Oh, okay, I'll go see it, you know. And he also, like Brandon was saying, Hell or High Water, Taylor Sheridan wrote and directed that. So he's a good writer. I found out recently that he created Yellowstone, that show that people are raving about now. I haven't seen it. So anyway, he seems
Paramount Plus.
What's that?
You getting Paramount Plus?
No, my God.
They advertised it enough during the Super Bowl.
My God, the Super Bowl. Was that the Super Bowl or the Paramount Bowl, for crying out loud? Oh, by the way, we'll get struck if we say that. So we have to say Game of the Year. We'll have to bleep. I'm dead serious.
The big game.
We'll get struck. It's so weird. So anyway, yeah, my initial thoughts are it was a good movie. I had a lot of energy behind it. I liked it a lot. So I tend to like Elizabeth Olsen in these type of roles. Not so much the Marvel stuff, but I like her in this kind of stuff. Not a big Jeremy Renner guy, but we'll get into
What?
that. Yeah.
But do you like him in Marvel?
Huh?
You like Jeremy Renner and his Marvel stuff, though, right?
No. I don't care for him, and I really don't like his music. Go figure. So,
But it's
That
real
was a
estate.
surprise.
yeah. So let's talk about Taylor Sheridan for a minute. I'm guessing everyone here has seen Sicario. Yes.
Yes.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a good one. Has a great director attached, and Villeneuve is one of the better directors out today, if not the best going, like just for movie, like a real director. He can do pretty much any kind of genre. He's done the big thematics. He's done the smaller stories, so you can really tell, like Brandon was saying, the direction was leveled up in that, and the direction did, if you compare the two, did take a dip in this, but the writing is there. So how did you guys see it? And I'll ask Ryan first this go around. How did you see it? Did you see the direction was there? Did you feel like there was a dip maybe, or did you feel like the writing was above the direction?
Writing is definitely prevalent in this one. I think in a movie like this, it becomes very obvious if the writing is lacking. We kind of saw that, not the exact same kind of thing, but same concept investigation movie with the little things where it was just, I don't know, little boilerplate. This movie is heavy, like super heavy.
Yeah.
And you feel it when you're watching it. So yeah, I mean, writing definitely stands out for me over direction in this.
Chris, how about you?
I mean, I don't really have any problems with the direction in this. I mean, like I said early on, like I'm pretty high on every aspect of this movie. I think it's hard for me to compare to Sicario. Like this just feels like a grittier, smaller scale, kind of a story, very personal. So I mean, just like all the characters, the performances, just like the little bits of dialogue that just seem so natural, just like the little quips that you get, from, Jeremy Renner saying like, "Oh, it looks like it's me," when his wife's asking about who the victim was. The same type of thing with the police chief, whoever that guy, I don't know what his real title was. But yeah, I mean, everything was just so like personal for me that the direction just felt right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I will say, when I say that, I'm not saying direction was lacking. I would say that the writing stands out.
I think the writing was so good that it would be hard to direct this poorly. Like direct this to where it wasn't relevant or entertaining or compelling.
I think my issues with the directing kind of lie where there's a lot going on, mainly the action sequences or the confrontation sequences. Specifically, like when they're being flanked, when they're walking up to the mobile home or whatever.
Yeah,
security guards are like escorting them, and then they all have this like standoff, and it's like, for whatever reason, it just feels like a bunch of and maybe the same thing with like the stuff with John Bernthal in the trailer, with the conversation with his girlfriend. It just feels like it wasn't. Maybe this was the direction. Maybe they're like, let's just you just go and we'll follow you. And it felt so chaotic and unplanned and just messy and sloppy in execution, especially with the like standoff outside. Everybody's like, you don't have jurisdiction. And then finally, like 5 minutes later, Elizabeth was like, I'm FBI. I'm the only authority here. And, it's like just a bunch of like yelling, and just the way it's filmed, it just felt like I said, it just felt weak in comparison to everything else.
I would agree. Like with that scene in particular, they rely a lot on the dialogue to kind of describe what's happening, because like I feel like they could have done better to pull back on, like, the camera's basically like walking parallel with all these folks, and like stuff's going on, like people are feeling tense because people are looking at people the wrong way, but you don't really see that. Like you hear them talking about that after the fact, but you don't actually get to, you don't see that. Like you rely on the dialogue to tell you that.
Yeah, and the dialogue was there. We maybe talk about this too much, but it is something that's important to me. This is a real Indian reservation that they used. It wasn't in Wyoming; it was in Utah, but it is a real one, and that is the name of a real Indian reservation.
It says didn't it say that it was loosely based on a true story or something?
I think it's like a collection of just a lot of events.
This is a real problem within the Indian reservations.
The missing persons,
the missing stuff. Women, they don't have to report it outside of the reservation, is my understanding. So, and during the filming of this, some of the people from the reservation came up to Taylor Sheridan and other folks on crew and cast and told them at least 12 stories of women that are missing on this particular, in their lives. I don't know about on this particular reservation. I don't want to say that. I don't want to misspeak. But anyway, this is a real issue. So you can tell that this is something of importance to Taylor Sheridan. Maybe he had some kind of experience, knew somebody that knew, I don't know, but he does call this his finale in his what is it he called, the American Frontier trilogy. So Sicario being the first of those, then Hell or High Water, and then this is the finale of that. So this was before Hell or High Water, right? This is after. This is 17. Hell or High Water came out in 16.
I thought it was the other way around.
I think Hell or High Water became more popular after this movie, but I was under the same impression, and then I looked it up on the IMDb. So,
gotcha.
Yeah. So
I looked it up on the Google.
Mm-hmm. There we go. So
he didn't. Okay, never mind. He didn't direct Hell or High Water. He just wrote. Mm-hmm. I was thinking that he directed it.
Right. So.
Yep.
That's comments in the comments. Chris, let me ask you this. Was there a performance that stood out to you at all? Was there one that kind of trumped the rest of them?
For me, I think it was Elizabeth Olsen. I think this is her best performance we've seen so far. Just throughout the movie, she just dialed into, these scenes of just like melting into empathy so much. She felt like almost an audience surrogate as she would learn like how disproportionate the treatment is, for the people in that area. And like, she would let it sink in. It would just like haunt her. Just all those scenes, I thought were really strong. And then like, adversely on the other side, the scenes where she kind of had to like, sack up and like really take charge and things like the drug house scene where she just kind of like goes straight in, or even towards the end, or her hospital bed scene. I think she showed like a lot of range, and the empathy ones in particular I thought were like really strong.
Yeah, I liked how the character obviously wasn't a very seasoned FBI agent, because little things that could have gotten her killed and almost did get her killed happened every time she had to go into a hairy situation.
It's little things that get you caught.
Oh my God. So anyways, I like, like you were saying, when she got hit with that bear mace, I was like, whew, I could feel that. I felt that in my face. I was like, ugh.
Your face is already red.
Yeah. Well, thanks God. Yeah. So I felt that, and you could feel her pain and anguish whenever she got hit with that shotgun. So, Ryan, how about you? Was there a performance that stood out to you?
I think Elizabeth Olsen is the standout by far. Like all the kind of like psychological shifts she had to go through for this movie. Even like in the first couple minutes that she's in it, she rolls up in the middle of the blizzard and she's basically just pissed off that she's there. Like she's like, I'm freezing, I gotta get inside.
Yeah.
And then she had,
I'd like
What's that?
the naivety with her as far as like
Showing up
just thinking that they can go ahead and go up there like as she's
high
dressed.
heels.
Yeah.
And then there's the scene where she walks into I can't remember the mother of the girl who was murdered.
Oh, with the cutting
her
of her
bedroom.
hands and stuff.
Yeah, and she like backs out just like shocked.
Yeah,
Like,
wouldn't she have to report that? Or is this just something to do with, because Melissa, obviously she works in the school, so she's like, they would have had to do it. It's a 10,
different.
13.
Well, there's
I think
another
it's
thing
just
she should have
the
reported too.
geographics. Like that's kind of the whole point up there. Is just it's kind of its own Wild West.
Yeah, I think it's different on an Indian reservation. Now, I may be speaking totally out of school, but I think they kind of govern their own land.
It's also just the sheer like remote nature of
Yeah.
where they are. Like,
Like-
I mean, they mention it several times in the movie. Where like that's just not how things are here.
Yeah, it's just, nope, this ain't Vegas. I like whenever she got there and he goes, "You live in Vegas?" Like, it's all
Yeah.
I thought the surrounding cast was very folksy and believable. Although I had seen many, a couple of the faces were noticeable, but a lot of those people have. I'll say this: they have very cool names. A lot of those actors, we'll get into in a little while. I found those names to be awesome.
I think Al's a cool name.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Alfred.
Stop sucking up.
Yeah. So, Brandon, I think we all know who stood out to you. Who was your stand?
Well, I mean, there's not much else I can say. Obviously,
John Bernthal carried this movie.
yeah, yeah, he did. Well, what's funny is I forgot, even though you guys told me many times that he's in this, I forgot that he was in it until the reveal, and I was like, oh yeah.
I forgot who
I was
said
so
it in the
excited.
comments. But they were like, "Ow, why'd you spoil it for Brandon?" I was like, "It's in the trailer, dude. Like, it's in the trailer, man."
Yeah.
Brandon,
I
how
haven't seen
did you
the
like the
trailer.
reveal?
I haven't seen the trailer. Well, which reveal? That he's in it?
Barenthal, like that scene, how they kind of integrated that.
With the when she knocks on the door.
Yeah, and then it cuts back to previously on. No, yeah, I like that. That was a good way to kind of go back and show that that relationship. I mean, it wasn't a fun scene to witness, but it
No,
was.
it was not.
Here's a
I
fun fact
skipped
about
it
that
my
scene.
time around.
He lost 4 toenails filming that scene.
What?
Hmm.
That's tough, right there.
So it was fun for everyone.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I mean, that scene. I mean, here's the thing. Obviously, it's not something that you want to watch, but I know how this is going to sound. I wish it was done better as far as like, as far as execution wise. I've just seen like, like major confrontational type scenes like that. I think in the hands of a better, more seasoned director, it would have helped. Just my opinion.
Well,
It's one of those things.
I think
It
that-
goes back to that
that-
whole thing where I felt like maybe the direction was just this is a chaotic situation. Let's try and kind of like recreate the chaos.
It's also really close quarters in a trailer. That makes it a little tough too, I'm sure.
Yeah, this is a movie, so you do movie things. You take out a wall. You do things. You choreograph.
Brandon's an expert.
There's a budget, Brandon.
He's an expert.
Take the wall down.
You do. I've watched behind the scenes on movies. But no, I mean, other than that, I mean, like I said, I'm not gonna hold that against the movie. I mean, I feel like,
I mean, it's the guy's directorial debut.
yeah,
Let's
I mean,
give
I
him a
feel
break.
like he's
direct better than you can. Isn't that what you said to me last week?
Yeah, I don't know, maybe, but yes, it's true.
Sounds like it.
No, I just I don't know. I feel like it was lacking. in terms of that. It's just too much. Like
That
it felt like they were just like kind of not sure how to play this scene out. I mean, they were trying to make it feel
Like
realistic.
they didn't
but
block it. Maybe it was too cold. They were like, just do it. I'm cold. Want to get back to my trailer.
I mean, it
with the
could have
heater.
been.
Ugh.
Definitely could have been.
Man, I'll tell you what, with that scene, like I was so mad watching that scene that I probably wasn't even paying attention to the technicals of it. Like that scene.
Well, I typically see. That's the thing, though. If it was done well, it wouldn't have been so noticeable to me. Like it just felt so stilted in execution.
Brandon watches movies like this. No,
Just,
let's do it.
you know,
Let's do it again, guys.
I think that those
guy.
are real. Honestly, those are really the only two problems that I have with the movie is that scene. But those scenes are so pivotal for the movie itself. That's why it kind of put a little bit of a gray cloud over the movie for me.
I am going to say this. Second watch. This is my second time. This might be my third time seeing this movie. But I noticed this time for whatever reason, and maybe I noticed it last time. I just forgot because I enjoyed the movie. But some of the cinematography choices were a little bit off for me. There were some shots where like they were looking down at somebody on the ground or something, and the camera was a little too shaky, or it was just unnecessarily a shaky cam, or whatever the case is. It's neither here nor there. It's nitpicking. The story is there. I like story, so I'm gonna gravitate towards this movie. And as long as it has a good story, I can watch it. So, Chris,
let's be honest. How I gotta ask, how satisfying is the ending of this movie when he just tells him to run and fire the
So
shotgun
good.
next to his head?
So good. We're gonna get into that. Chris, was there anything that stood out to you? I know you said you have a lot of mostly, if not all, good things to say about this movie. But was there anything that stood out to you? Like, do you have preferences when you watch movies to where those preferences weren't met, maybe?
I mean, I don't think so. This movie was just one that was so like heavy and drew you in so much that it was like hard for me to like almost step outside and think about, what it's not meeting in other ways. This movie just felt to me like the way it was written, and then I think it just kind of flowed along with it. It's like kind of Mando, like this is the way. It was almost like the whole movie centered around. Thanks, Brandon. The crime happens there, and many like this because it's almost ungoverned and it's wild, and it's just people do what they want. And then the justice that follows it was the same way. I mean, it was like Jeremy Renner, like in my mind watching this, there was no other way for it to be resolved. Like there was no bringing anybody in. There was no like the feds getting involved. There was no attention. It was just like Jeremy Renner doing his hunting and getting that kill. And it just all felt right to me throughout.
Yeah. All the tie-in with the Lion's Den too, with the storyline.
So am I the only one that feels like that's that's the only weakness in the story when he's like, yeah, I got to go catch these lions. So they sent him back on that goose chase so that he can save them at the end. Like it just felt like, why is he at this point?
That one part was confusing me too, because even watching it this time around, I was like, did he stumble on them, or is he going up checking those tracks and he happened to see the lion tracks? And it kind of confused me a minute as well.
I mean, I felt like like they were like, all right, let's get Renner over here so that he can save the day, because all these guys are going to get ambushed, and so we need him.
Very well
not
could have
there
been
with
that.
them.
However, the way I saw it was he had a job to do because he was trying to save other people. He thought this was going to be routine. He didn't think anything like this was going to happen. He's like, all right, I've got the information from the guy in the back of the truck. You guys go, we found the dead body, blah, blah, blah. Y'all go over here, do this, blah, 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 this, whatever. And then he saw those tracks going down. He's like, what in the world? And then that made him investigate further, and that helped him. So, yeah, it could have been a device to get him over there, and I'm sure it was.
Yeah, I understand that of it. I'm just saying, like, to me, it just screamed more of the story needs this to happen, so this is why he's going to decide to go back. I just seemed like he would be so invested at this point that he wouldn't have abandoned, and he's been along for the ride, for the entire movie. And now
there was the line
I
about,
gotta go look for these lions.
They asked if he was coming there with them, and he said, I'm not going. Like, you don't go where the wolves are or where they've been. You're going to go like where they're going to be, or something like a Wayne Gretzky quote. I don't know. But he called out not going with them for like some specific reason.
Yeah. I mean, Brandon, I can see where you're coming from. I think for me, like it didn't throw me at all, just because like at the end of the day, like he's not a cop, he's not an FBI agent, and he did have a job that he was working on before all this started. So
yeah, and I think he wants to be as far away from it as he can because it's his daughter that died, friend, and it's probably, I mean, as we see, it's really too close to home for him. So, I will say that
it kind of feels like one of those things where maybe they had this, that they worked their way backwards in terms of the writing. I'm like, all right, yeah, it's right, I get it, but I just feel like it was, out of what I saw, it didn't feel as earned of a move.
Whatever kind of gun that he had, what
4570 government.
Holy handbags! That thing was.
That's the same one from Jurassic World.
Freaking man cannon.
That's something that I wanted to ask you, Chris. I actually have a note. It says, Chris, talk about gunplay.
Chris likes
gunplay. So the big lever action that he uses at the end that just demolishes everybody very satisfyingly, that's a Marlin lever action, and that's a 4570 government round. So it's the same rifle they use in Chris Pratt has in Jurassic World. They even updated their website for the different like types of hunting you can do with that one, and they added like a little T-Rex icon on it like years ago on the Marlin site. That's a big boy round for sure.
Yeah, that blew that guy back. He was just, I don't know from that range if he could do that or not, but good Lord, he was picking people off. I
really enjoyed all the like tracking elements of this movie.
I'm gonna say this in terms that Brandon and Ryan, I'm guessing Chris will understand too. That was like Vader in Rogue One, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Man. Yeah. I get you.
That was it. I actually went to a gun range once. I was next to a guy in a bay who was shooting that same round, but out of a revolver. Mm-hmm. He was in, like next month's like 5 feet over from me. Mm-hmm. When he pulled that trigger, it was like what I imagined lightning striking next to me was. It was insane. And I turned over, I was like, "Are you okay?" And he was like, "My teeth are loose."
My teeth are loose.
It's insane.
Yeah. That was quite the handy Andy right there. That gun, that round. I was, whew. I mean, it was so funny.
Andy.
The guy. Okay, so let's get into it. The guy, I forget the character's name. The one that ends up running at the end. Pete or whatever his name was. I don't remember.
Jerk.
What was his name?
The Jerk.
Yeah, the Jerk. The real feisty feller. I don't know if it was supposed to be, but when he was sitting up in that snow at the end, he was like, just kind of like, "What do you want me to do?" And he had his face all. I thought that was hilarious. I was dying laughing. It was great comic relief.
Yeah.
I did it. I just thought that was hilarious, and I had forgotten how funny it was, and I'm guessing they did do it as comic relief a little bit, like just to kind of take the wind out of it just a little bit. But man, because it was about to get real severe. But I thought that was the most hilarious part of the entire movie, which I didn't know if I was the only sick person. So I'm glad to see I'm in good company here. So let us know in the comments if you too are a sick person. So let's talk about the end. Of course, none of us are on the side of the jerk. I mean, obviously, the comeuppance in this movie was fantastic. Starting with that gun we were talking about and shooting them and everything, and getting down to the one guy and him running and everything, and having that showdown where Jeremy Renner's just sitting there calm, cool, and collected, and he's basically.
I will say that. Sorry to interrupt you, Al.
Yeah.
I will say that I always have a problem in movies, even though it's a movie, whenever there's a character somewhere, like in the woods or whatever, and he doesn't see anybody, and then he turns around and somebody's there, and like they wouldn't have heard him walking around, creeping up. It's just.
He was distracted by the porcupine, Brandon.
Yeah. Okay.
That's right.
Fair enough.
He's got a good point.
Tiptoe.
Continue, Al.
Jordans. So anyway, I felt like that was one of the most compelling scenes in the movie, and like I said, the biggest comic relief in the movie. And we all kind of giggled just a minute ago about that, but I wanted to see how that, not the running part, just that part where he's kind of interrogating him, kind of struck you, and then we'll get into the running part in a minute. But Ryan, let's go with you first.
First off, it's just striking because you know that the guy who's going to end up winning this battle is like completely in his element.
Yeah.
And the guy who is not going to win the battle doesn't have any shoes. He's just, you know, it's not going to end well for him. So it's essentially he's just toying with him. And I will say, so kind of like what we were talking about, obviously it was a gruesome death or aggressive death, I guess, for the other folks with the high caliber rounds that they were eating in the trailer, but not necessarily like satisfying.
That one that flung up against the wall was pretty satisfying.
Well, I just mean like somebody who's like has done that kind of stuff. Like your natural things, like you want them to suffer. Like it's not.
Yeah, exactly. I get what you're saying.
So the way that he dies, basically just
with a whimper,
choking on his own blood,
and his face is all swollen.
Yeah,
I mean, he died how she did, so it comes full circle.
Yep.
I like how he was kind of throwing trinkets in there of the girl the whole time.
The whole
she's a warrior.
I'm gonna give you a chance.
Yeah.
Just like she had.
Oof. Chris, what do you think about just this part of the scene?
I mean, this part for me, I just love that Jeremy Renner's character, Corey, was just so himself throughout. It was still that same like man with no name, just like calm, cool, collective. Like
that's a good way to describe it.
The outcome's already happened. He's just going through the motions and just watching, like the other guy just like melt down. And, this scene, like, as you were saying, how it was like almost like comedic. It started to like almost go towards like that Tarantino type of like gratification type of thing for me. And it was just cool to see like, it's all just on that guy's reaction to Jeremy Renner's inaction and just like how placid he is. And I mean, I thought it was awesome.
Yeah. Brandon?
I mean, I can't add too much after those two. I mean, the only thing that I could possibly add is just that I really liked that like they make a big point to kind of build up what is it, Natalie? Is that the girl's name? Mm-hmm. How much of a warrior she was in terms of her
will to live kind of
running,
thing.
like 6 miles or whatever they said it was, and he makes it like 30 feet or something.
Yeah.
I liked that element of it, but I mean, you guys have said pretty much anything that I would have to add besides that. So
sorry, Brandon.
Thanks, guys. We rehearsed that well.
Good job.
Now I feel like that scene could have been done so poorly in the hands of a bad director. So this is where I'm gonna kind of stand up for Taylor Sheridan against Brandon's bullying. I think that it could have easily been one of those old Hollywood where he's like yelling at him, and it's just like it's like a camera like circling the guy.
Go on, boy.
Yeah.
I'm so glad it wasn't that.
Could have easily been that though.
Yeah.
A dialogue there's so strong. The guy gets up. He's like, "What do you want me to do?"
Yeah.
It's like run and just bang. Like takes off and.
Yeah, that guy. The character's name was Pete, and the actor's name was James Jordan, and he reminds me just in that scene. I don't know if you guys know who this is. David Patrick Kelly. Are you familiar with David Patrick Kelly? Warriors, The Crow.
Oh yeah.
Twin Peaks. Anybody? He's just got
Twin
such
Peaks, what's that?
Stay tuned.
Never heard of it.
That's all I'm saying. But no, he's just got that distinctive voice, and once you hear David Patrick Kelly, you're like, oh my gosh, warriors. You just hear it. It's just so good. And this guy, I don't know if this guy could have played this straight because his voice was funny to me. So, and also I think I don't know if it's a man thing. I don't know if it's a human thing. I don't know what, but it was kind of cool to see somebody that did such despicable things begging for their life. So, and basically, you know, kind of trying to pay his penance already. Like, I can get out of it, you know, because he's been able to talk his way out of everything. He was the funny guy or whatever. So, all right. So he's running away. His lungs burst. I want you to know that this is one thing this movie did teach me is that your lungs can burst after running in cold. That's
why
terrifying.
you don't run when it's cold.
Period.
Running is bad.
Don't risk it.
Yeah.
Told Melissa.
I told you.
Yeah. Running in like Georgia cold is not the same as running in Wyoming cold.
Brandon's not gonna risk that.
Oh.
Differ. Not gonna take any chances.
The cold here is nothing. I went to Wyoming last year, and I'll tell you this: I loved Wyoming. It was beautiful, but I got the same thing Elizabeth Olsen got during this.
Shot.
Got like snow burn,
Snow blindness.
snow blindness. Yeah, so it's like basically like sunburn on your eyes from the snow. And I had to walk around like a cool guy indoors and everything with sunglasses on because I couldn't see anything. My eyes were burning, and I was there to film something. I was like, "Oh, okay." So
I was like thinking of Talladega Nights. It's like I'm here to talk to you about a serious issue: snow blindness and cats.
yeah. everybody thought I was like Mr. Hollywood. I was like, nope, just can't see anything. That's about it. So anyway, I was wearing Dollar General sunglasses around because it hurt bad. But yeah, I mean, those elements and all of that. I mean, Brandon is relatively cold natured, so this movie might have had a different feel. I'm hot natured, so I think this kind of weather's awesome. So
I like it when there's snow.
I like it when there's. I don't like driving in snow. I've done that for too many years of my life, but. Did the elements play into the torture of this movie is what I'm getting
Heck
into.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
Feel like, I mean, they do a great job with the character, like the druggy characters and stuff to kind of like build this like hopeless environment.
Yeah.
Do you guys feel like this is something that I mentioned to Melissa that she didn't really think was the case, so maybe I'm just alone again. But did you guys think that there was a little bit of inconsistency as far as like the locales? Like sometimes there'd be like snow on the ground, sometimes it'd just be like it had melted. Like
at the end where he's sitting with him and it's just like
and then
green grass around him, like a little patch of snow.
Maybe they're traveling great distances in these different scenes, but it just felt like it was
a lot of elevation change.
It's still not as bad as the snow and running scared. Anyway, so
Al's if you haven't watched recently, Al's developed a thing for movie snow.
I have an affinity. My uncle and I have talked about this in the past. If you want to go see good snow in a movie, go watch the movie Wonder Boys.
Empire Strikes Back.
Oh yeah, that's what I need to see, some good snow. That's what
Wonder
I need
Boys.
for my next
good,
movie watch.
It's good snow. Good fake snow. Put it that way. So I'm going to get back to what I thought was one of the coolest things about this movie, and that is the fact that they had real live Native Americans in the movie, and they have some of the coolest names I've ever heard. I hope I pronounce these right, but I wish I had. My name's Al. Okay, let's just get that out of the way. Tantu Cardinal is one of the names. That is awesome. I don't even know what it means, but that's awesome. Tokala Black Elk. Yes, please. I want to be called Black Elk. That's awesome. Let me see here. There was one more. Oh, shucks.
Oh, shucks.
I've lost it, guys. I ruined the whole show.
That's all right.
You can make them
We
up.
get the idea.
I found it. And I'm not going to say this right, so I'm just going to spell it. APESANAHKWAT. I'm going to try to say
Al?
it.
Say it,
Apasanaquat.
Hey, could have been good. I don't know.
Apasanaquat.
I'm not going to judge you for it.
I just want to say that these names are so freaking cool, And I would like, if anybody knows the meaning of any of them, please teach me. I want to know everything about this. I think it's great.
Well, speaking as far as that Native American culture, I did like the little like note with, I think it was Martin, which is not a cool name, just Martin Hansen.
The face.
He's the father of the girl, Natalie. And he's got his like death paint on or something. And he's sitting there. And
Yeah, he's like,
My face.
He's like, well,
Gotta
he's like,
beep it.
he's basically, I think Jeremy Renner asked him what it's like, what's the significance and that kind of thing. He's like, I just made it up. I don't know. Nobody's here to teach me or something like that. I thought that it was an interesting little like tidbit to show how like desolate and how the culture hasn't survived. Even this kind of terrible situation that they've kind of been forced into.
yeah, and you know, like we were talking about earlier, his wife was out of the picture because she was self-medicating with, you know, cutting and whatever else, and just the whole movie was just so bleak. Now, I will say this: the first time I saw this movie, I got a little bit nervous that they were going to go the way of Hollywood a little bit too much. When they were at Jeremy Renner's house, and I thought it was going to be like, oh, now we're in love.
Do you want a
And I was
drink?
like, oh, good God. And then at the end, when he's at the hospital, I thought it was going to be like, we should run off into the sunset after you get that bandage off your neck, you know? And I was like, oh, God. And so I was so glad they didn't go that way. So again, signs of a good writer, signs of a good director. No matter what Brandon says, Taylor Sheridan.
Al hates love.
I do. It's not real. I'm just kidding.
I did watch some interviews with Sheridan leading up to this, so I could be prepared because Brandon has such high standards for me. And he had mentioned in one that like a lot of studios were like, "Yeah, we'll take this movie. Just cut out that one scene where the rape scene." And like he's like,
The whole
"No,
movie?
like how I wrote it, it's staying in." So he like turned a bunch of people down on that. And whoever the interviewer was in this, he was asking like, you know, it felt like, you know, if this was in the hands of a studio, like there's definitely going to be like this love thing that comes in. And he's like, yeah,
Sure.
not going to happen with what I write. And he's like, none of my movies are going to involve like this romance or kissing or anything like that. So it seemed like something that he was very aware of.
I will say this. I've heard many as the kids say, boomers talking about Yellowstone. I have never seen it. I am not the biggest Kevin Costner guy. I do like Dances with
Heresy.
Wolves, oddly enough, and Robin Hood.
There's Jonathan Kent you're talking about.
Sure. So I'm interested in seeing that now.
Well, get you some Paramount Plus.
Hey, apparently it's coming, so I gotta go get it. Yeah, so I'm interested in at least trying it out. So I've still got a lot of Twin Peaks. I've still got the Americans. So the list is growing as Brandon watches Sopranos. So, guys, is there anything else you want to add about Wind River?
Go see it.
Go see it.
Don't jump the gun,
Yes.
Chris.
Yeah.
God, what a
I'm
newbie.
made.
We'll get to
Sorry.
that movie. So, all right. So let's go ahead and ask Chris. Chris, would you buy it? Would you skip it? Would you rent it? What would you do?
Probably
Twist
skip
it. Bop it.
You'd what? You'd skip it? Okay.
Yeah, skip it. No, go watch this movie.
All right.
Go watch
Buy
it.
it.
Okay. We'll put an eyeball up there for him. Go on. Brandon, what about yourself?
I mean, I'm kind of in between. Me personally, I plan on buying this at some point. You know, I mean, if it's easily accessible, definitely like stream this as soon as possible.
John Bernthal's in it. He's buying it, guys. All right. Now it's my turn.
That completionist collection. So.
The John Bernthal discography.
He asked Melissa to leave the room. Don't you have to go to the bathroom or something when he comes on screen? Ben Affleck's getting jealous.
John Bernthal shirtless scene.
Gosh.
Bonus.
Anyway, All right.
I don't know
Ryan.
what that answer is, so it's both.
Eyeball, question mark, and this is a hopeless podcast. Yeah.
I was like,
let me provide some clarity. You should buy
Ryan,
this
what
movie.
would you do?
Buy.
Okay. All right. So I'll put
NSYNC.
NSYNC for yours. So
That's right.
so all right. All right, I would say buy this movie as well. It's one that you definitely want to tell people about, and it's one you'll want to pull off your shelf.
Very rewatchable.
Yeah, like say you have some friends over. If you have a movie club like I go to, shout out to movie club. And
Movie club.
Sup, movie club.
Sup. 404, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, you can
That was embarrassing.
678.
White.
Except for Chris.
I'm Lebanese, so anyway.
Does anyone else want to share?
We got two E's here.
All right, everybody.
Mercy.
Well, that's our review of Wind River, and this week we are going to start something even. Well, we're not going to start. We're going to have something different for the first time on the show. But before we do that, let's have Ryan tell us where you guys can find us again.
Easiest thing to do would be to scroll down and let us know what you think in the comments section. You can also find us on Instagram at CiNEMACHiNE. We'll have a graphic up there with our voting choices that you'll hear in a moment.
Awesome. Ryan, you want to tell us where they can find us? I'm just kidding. This week, we're going to have somebody other than the three of us nominate a movie. It's the first time. Whoa.
4 choices?
Yeah, 4 choices. That means for all us sad sacks over here, if you don't like any of us, you can pick Chris's movie regardless. So, Chris, guest first. Let's see. What movie would you like to nominate for us to watch? Now, remember, if you nominate a movie and it wins,
Come on back.
you got to come back and review it.
So
It's a rule.
I would like to nominate The Witch.
Oh, the Vivitch.
The Witch.
Yeah.
Vivitch.
Okay. All right. Okay. That's going to
Solid.
turn some stomachs. All right. Very good nomination. I don't think Brandon's seen that, have you?
Negative.
Really?
All right. And Ryan, I do believe you have seen it.
Yep.
Yeah. I think you own it.
He owns it. Yeah.
Ooh.
I do.
It's in his
Yeah.
voodoo.
All that sight and stuff he got.
I'm
So,
real into it.
Brandon, what about yourself? What are you going to nominate this week?
I am going to nominate something that I don't think Al has seen.
Ooh.
And that is Christopher Nolan's Interstellar.
Mm.
I have not seen it. I have no interest in seeing it. So,
Fun fact, that was the first movie that me and Katie saw on our first date together.
was she out of this world?
Al, you need to drop a studio audience.
Timestamp.
All right, Ryan. What are you gonna?
I am going to go a very different route from both of those nominations and pick Scott Pilgrim versus the World. And if that one wins, Chris also has to come back because
Oh, yeah.
we'll be dropping quotes the whole episode. It's going to be great.
Awesome.
You don't know?
Young now.
All right. I am gonna go a little off the beaten path here.
What a surprise.
I know it's gonna be crazy. You guys are never gonna see this coming.
A deer. Oh, sorry.
Nope.
Inside jokes.
Yeah, exactly. Things we can't say on YouTube. but we want to make T-shirts out of it. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Mandy. I really want us to see that movie. That movie is fantastic, and I'm really itching to watch it again. So, and I really want to talk about it. So, please. And
Well, I think it got one
if
vote.
my movie wins, nobody comes back to talk about it. So everybody's
This
sick. That
becomes
night.
Criterion Corner.
So, anyway, what were you gonna say, Brandon?
No, I was saying, I think I got one vote last week.
It did indeed.
Fantastic. Well, we can't have Brandon winning 3 in a row, so the pity parties are over. Let's calm that.
That's right.
Well, everybody, Chris is actually going to stick around with us for another first, somebody with us on what we've been watching, so on the wrap-up. So we'll be back here in just a second for Brandon to fill us in on the latest movie news and to tell you what we've been watching over the last week. So see you in the wrap-up. All right, we're back for the wrap up where Brandon's going to fill us in on movie news and we're going to talk about what we've been watching this week. But first, Ryan, you want to fill us in on where everybody can get in touch with us again?
Yep. If you're watching on YouTube, drop down in the comments. Let us know what you think. On Instagram at CiNEMACHiNE. That's where you find us.
There we go. So, Brandon, please fill us in on what's been going on in the news of the Hollyweird.
Yep. So drop down the comments on here, Instagram at CiNEMACHiNEPod.com.
That's Ryan's job.
Yeah, you don't do it very good.
I also do it wrong.
I know.
At CiNEMACHiNEPod.com. Not a lot going on this week, guys. I hate to break it to you. There was a big game this weekend that had a little bit of stuff, I guess, you know.
Not a big game. The big
It was
game.
a big. For me, it was a
It wasn't the college football championship.
For Brandon, it was a small game.
It was just a game.
Was
I
it
happen to
national
have it on here. Just because I liked seeing the commercials and trailers, but to be honest, I honestly didn't even pay attention. Like I kind of caught a few of them. Caught the Wayne's World one.
You gonna tell your Timothy Chalamet story?
Yeah, I was upstairs. My parents were leaving, and the Edward Scissorhand commercial came on. My mom was talking to me, and I just caught it out of the corner of my eye. I just she was just talking to me, and I just walked away from her towards the TV. She kept asking me stuff. I was like, "Stop! This is the only time I've been interested the whole night. Stop talking."
Brandon doesn't like sports.
Yeah. So anyway, some things that I noted that did get released as far as movie trailers are concerned. And I'm just gonna roll off a few of them. And if any of you guys have anything to say about, if you caught them, because I only caught a few of them. Fast and Furious 9, that Raya and the New Dragon or whatever it's called, the Disney movie. Nobody, Bob Odenkirk movie. Old, Shyamalan's new movie. I guess Old was one of the bigger ones, I guess, of the night.
Is that his movie or is that show?
It's a
I think
movie.
it's a movie.
Is it?
Yeah, because
Okay.
it said
I
in
know.
theaters this summer or something. Falcon the Winter Soldier, Clarice, Coming to America, and Paramount Plus had lots of things. So the Clarice and Paramount Plus stuff, they had so many of them because CBS had the rights.
Yeah.
That and that
both this year.
Equalizer garbage with Queen Latifah.
Yeah.
Stupid.
That's why I was like, at first I was like, man, Paramount Plus is spending a lot of money. And I was like, oh, this is CBS. So, yeah.
It's just
It's
me.
amazing.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh,
So polite.
Jinx.
So polite. It's like it's a Sunday.
It's crazy how, with all the more premium television that kind of has come along with, obviously the Netflix and Hulu and all that stuff. It's crazy how cheap and lame everything network feels. Just it's a completely different ballgame these days.
Well, there's
It's
so
like
many
the old
homes of
people
the
are still
radios.
running the studios for the actual channels,
Mm-hmm.
and then the young people are like, "Yeah, we got the streamer thing taken care of. Don't worry about it." You know?
Chris, were you able to catch any of those trailers that I mentioned?
I didn't watch any commercials during this big sports event, but I did end up seeing the M. Night trailer, I think online today, actually. And I'd seen the Nobody trailer before.
Yeah.
I don't know if I saw any other ones.
I guess this was a new Nobody trailer. I didn't watch it because I didn't.
Okay,
liked
yeah, then I didn't see the new one.
And I was like, I don't want to see any more.
Old. I'm curious if anybody thought this when they watched the old trailer. Did it make anybody think at all of Midsummer?
Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, because it was in daylight.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I still haven't seen it. That's one I own that I haven't watched yet, but it made me want to watch it.
I can't say that it did because I turned my head when I left the room when it came on. Not because I hated it or anything. I just was like, I need a break.
Football.
I'll be honest with you. I'm not interested. I was so interested in Coming to America, the second one, but just I don't know. After seeing the full trailer, it just kind of made me sad.
I did catch that one too.
Huh?
Yeah, I did end up catching that one. I kind of forgot about it and liked it better when I forgot about it.
Yeah.
And I've told you guys I wasn't a big fan of the first one, but the trailer gave me like Dumb and Dumber 2 vibes, and I was just like,
yeah, it's just like people don't understand how comedies used to be written with like it had heart and a story, and people weren't playing it to be funny. They were saying funny things in funny scenarios, but playing it like it was a drama, or playing it like it was just like regular people. They weren't trying to be like this zany character. And for the most part, for most of those really good comedies that stick around. But yeah, it's just so sad. And then Leslie Jones shows up and she's terrible. So
if she wasn't in this movie, I'd be a lot more forgiving.
Yeah, I was really excited. I'll still watch it. Don't get me wrong. I'm still gonna watch it. We'll probably still review it. I'm hoping for the best, but she makes me just cringe when she comes on screen because she yells a lot, and it's just like, oh, good lord. So she's like I don't know, she's kind of like what's that girl's name from Bridesmaids? Melissa McCarthy. She just falls down and farts a lot kind of thing. So anyway, I have no interest in seeing a Fast and the Furious movie. Nobody. I kind of want to see Nobody. I'll say that.
I want to see Nobody. I didn't watch this particular trailer, but yeah, like I said, I like the first one.
Yeah, I saw the first trailer. I didn't see this trailer.
Pretty sure isn't this one directed by? Is it David Leitch that's doing this, or is it the other guy from the John Wick franchise?
Honestly, don't know.
It's one of them. Pretty sure.
You're the news guy. So, I know you guys are probably excited about Falcon Winter Soldier, right?
Not really.
No.
Yeah, meh.
Oh, I'm surprised. Okay.
I didn't watch that trailer either.
Okay. Yeah,
they cut Bucky's hair. It's over.
Oh my gosh! How dare
They gave the wrong guy the shields.
Cardinal
What happened?
Fan.
He's got to play Luke.
He doesn't look cool without his long hair. I'm sorry.
I agree with you.
He
Oh my gosh!
Looks just like
Of course Ryan agrees.
Sebastian Stan with a metal arm.
I agree.
Well,
yeah.
you heard it here first.
I mean,
Al's like
that's
some
another
deep
one.
insight.
That's another one that
haircuts.
I'm gonna watch
Kill
it.
Hollywood.
We'll watch it. We'll probably cover it on Cape Cast.
We'll review it on Cape Cast.
Not super excited for it.
Hey, I wasn't excited for WandaVision either, and even when it started,
Look at
here we
you
are.
now.
Yeah.
So Clarice, we just
Do we have to?
No,
Do we
thanks.
have to? Let's just keep talking. The next
Why
subject.
is she still working on the same case? Like the whole trailer. That whole trailer was
are we
just
just gonna-
a truncated version of the movie.
I'm pretty
Are we
sure
going to ignore
that?
that? Like, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say I don't think that they're allowed to even mention Hannibal Lecter in this show.
Well,
That's what I'm saying.
talking about Buffalo Bill. I mean, he's. I mean, he's
I don't know.
got.
I don't even know the premise.
Well, in the trailer, she's just. First off, she's not doing a very good Southern accent. Number one. Number two, sorry, actress that I don't know your name. Number two, do better. She she the whole thing is they've got the little poodle dog. They've down in the girl down in the well, and guys, dressing up and doing the whole dancing thing and stuff. So it's like, oh, come on. Like, you don't. And then they have the big moths and everything.
I'm so fond of those movies. I'm just like, don't touch it. Just leave it alone.
It's just
don't do it.
Well, I'm also knowing that it's CBS. It's like, it's going to be garbage.
Yeah.
Well, also what happened was, and this is what's the problem with doing a podcast, is they say, hey, did y'all see the CiNEMACHiNE review of Silence of the Lambs? It did really well. I think we should bring a show or something like that. These guys are really bringing it up. They watch Criterion version.
It's probably our fault that they're making this show.
So we apologize, everybody.
It's amazing that they were able to turn it out so quickly, too.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
But it looks
they
like
listen to the right people.
Churn and burn. Hey, just have something on there. Don't matter what it is the motto of Hollywood now. So,
well,
Chris?
Anyway, I will say that out of
Chris,
these trailers,
got anything you want to add?
Trying to include our guest, guys.
I included him. I asked him earlier.
Earlier, 40 minutes ago, I asked him a question.
I'm just making fun if we just like rip that whole thing to shreds.
Well, I'm going to say something
Chris,
positive.
anything? Chris is probably like, yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to it. I don't know.
That's my cousin. That's my cousin you're talking about with the bad accent. Got a big break.
I
will say this positively, that Raya and the Last Dragon went over very well in my household with my daughter. She's excited for that one. I heard her yell.
It did not go over very well with my wife, who is a fan of those movies.
Gotcha.
So I'll say that.
I don't know what it is. I didn't see it.
Well, she's seen the other trailers, so she's excited for the movie. And so when it came on the TV, she was in a different room, and I heard her. I knew that it was on, and she was like, "Daddy, the TV!" So, yeah, she's excited. Anyway, Chris, you got anything you want to add? I'll give you time to talk now.
Nope, nothing.
Nope. Okay.
On to the next one.
Well, easiest guest ever.
That's the way we like them.
Yep.
What do you
Silent.
What do you guys think of Paramount Plus after what you saw on the Super Bowl? Or sorry, the big game.
Well,
the big game.
I was telling you earlier, I went and watched some clips of Beavis and Butthead. That commercial what intrigued me to go do that. But I have no interest in seeing any of the Star Trek anything. And that's a lot of it. And then I don't know. There's a lot of stuff on there I don't care about, and I don't know. I'm kind of getting overwhelmed with all the streaming services, and it's like slow your stomp the brakes a little bit. Let's calm down. I know everybody wants a piece of the pie, but I'm about to pick one or two and just be done with the rest of them, and I'm trying to make Netflix make sense right now.
Man, you've lasted a long time. Yeah. I ditched it.
I was gonna say you were cutting that loose for a while.
Well, that's the thing. Like I'm
like
trying, but
yeah.
Then Tremors, 2 of the Tremors movies were on there. They had me there.
Gotcha.
Graboids.
And they're probably pretty cheap too to get the rights to those, so they'll be on there for a while.
Yeah, they'll probably have a Tremors cartoon pretty soon. Anyway,
I have no interest in Paramount Plus.
I did you guys see this? So I sent you guys a trailer the other day of Willy Wonderland with Nicolas Cage. Did you guys watch that?
Yes.
No.
So no, they didn't. This is the world I live in, Chris. It's like,
well, I didn't get the text out.
well,
We've been texting up till now.
yeah. I'm sorry.
I don't know what it is. Your name in my phone has a little like crescent moon beside it. I don't know what that.
It's the weirdest thing.
It's
yeah.
crazy.
Mine?
No, mine. No, it's
How do I get that?
ginger hate. So anyway, no, it looks like a wacky movie with old Nicolas Cage.
So Mandy Part 2.
It's not that wacky. It does look like a wacky movie. So I just thought I'd add to the.
Is that the one? Is it
movie
coming
news.
out soon?
Yeah, relatively soon. Yeah, I don't know the date.
Because he has a movie that's at Sundance right now.
Willy's Wonderland.
Is he still doing like the true event movie of like his Superman comic that got stolen? Or did that get like sidelined a while ago?
I don't know, but I'd be down to watch it.
February 12th. It comes out this week. So that should be fun. So yeah. Anyway, looks like a bad movie, but it looks like it can be fun. So, all right. Brandon, is that all the news you got?
Yeah, that is
Fantastic.
Nothing really.
Fantastic.
All right.
Appreciate you
All
guys.
right, everybody. We're going to get into what we've been watching. Thanks, Brandon, for the update on the news. This week, we're going to go with Chris. We'll go with you first. We'll just be gentlemanly here and go with our guest first on everything. What have you been watching this week? Or what have you been watching recently, rather?
Well, to go off of your too many streaming services little key, I've been doing some HBO Max recently.
Mm-hmm.
So I just gave all of
the
Girls
best
a
one.
rewatch through.
Girls? Okay.
Solid series. I watched all of the Flight Attendant. Really enjoyed that.
Okay.
I was kind of fighting
You
it
did?
early on, but by the end of it, I really liked
Yeah,
it.
I watched The Flight Attendant too.
I
Yeah.
watched 2 episodes and I hated every second of it.
I know you did. You made that clear.
I was definitely, complaining throughout the first few, but it had me by the end. And now
Yeah,
I'm in love life, like
I'm
midway
not,
through,
like I'm
which
not gonna act like it was a award-winning type shit, but it was just a fun,
yeah,
I don't know, yeah, upbeat
had fun with
show,
it.
Yeah, I think
fast-paced.
I don't like the
her
assassin.
in small doses may be okay, but she just, I don't know, she grinds my nerves after a little while because she does a lot of quirky little things with her, like in her acting or attempt to acting. She's a sitcom actress. She's not a...
Al's just slamming celebrities left and right tonight.
Not getting Kelly Cuoco on our podcast.
That's fine. She, whatever. All right, Chris, what else you been watching? Girls and Flight Attendant.
Started Love Life also on HBO Max. It's the new Anna Kendrick series. It's all right.
I didn't know
like-
that was a thing.
All right,
couple
so
episodes
I'm gonna
in.
be real with you. Wait, is that the one? Is that the one where there's the door guy, the doorman or whatever,
Doorman.
in one of the early
I
episodes?
don't think so.
Doorman.
Oh, I don't know. I watched one recently with her where, like, she develops not like a love relationship, but a relationship with like a doorman at the front of her building. And it's real tearjerker show,
Oh.
but apparently it's not that one. So
Maybe I just haven't gotten
Quibi
that
show
far.
that you're thinking about.
I can't say it is, Al.
I am not familiar with Love Life. Is that what you call it?
I think that's
I think
what it
it
is.
was
It's
a,
all right. Middle of the road for
I think
me.
it was a launch title on HBO Max,
Okay.
if I recall.
It's all right. But yeah, just a lot of HBO
How
Max
was your
stuff for me.
rewatch of Girls?
I really liked it. I got to say, like the way she writes the characters. Everybody is so real and complex. And it definitely has a dip towards the end for me, and I'm not a fan of how they ended it. And it seemed weird that they had the last episode when the second to last seemed like the finale. But overall, great series, very well written.
I need to try and rewatch that one. That one, I only got like 2 episodes in. I was like,
Adam Driver.
I don't know.
Adam Driver.
I love Adam Driver too. I don't know.
Can't handle the walrus in that one. She's terrible. Just forget her name.
There's another one.
Al has the same comments forever. She's terrible. I hate her.
I can't stand her. She's awful.
Act. She's
awful.
doing it. Ain't acting.
It's not.
So
I
accurate.
am the walrus.
It's awful. She's like a disgusting person. Ugh, gross.
Wow. All right, digging deep here tonight.
What's her name? What's her name?
I
Let's not-
assume
that's
you mean
just-
Lena Dunham.
Brandon, what you been
Lena
watching?
Dunham.
Yeah, disgusting.
She can write.
She is a good writer. I like that show. And
I don't need that filter.
similar to my adoration of Bernthal, I have the same, probably a higher adoration of Adam Driver, and he never disappoints. So he is worth the price of admission in Girls. So there you go. Good choice, Chris.
Thanks, bro.
All right, Brandon,
Next,
what you
Al.
been watching? Brandon, well, we asked you already, and you were going on your Adam Driver
true.
diatribe. I thought you were going to float right into what you've been watching, but you're just like, I love him. Roses are red.
Oh my gosh, Adam Driver.
Ah.
I do.
Can you imagine if John Bernthal and Adam Driver were in a movie together?
Shut up.
Have they not
God.
been in one together?
John Barenthal ends up
Fingers
being
crossed.
Ben Affleck's Robin. We're all in trouble. Anyway.
He's dead, Al.
Okay.
Reopen
Whatever.
that.
Brandon, what are you watching? Good God.
I haven't really watched much new this week. I mean, I'm still doing WandaVision, still doing Sopranos. The only thing that is not those two that we watched this week was Miss Doubtfire. We watched it Friday night with Luna.
Hello.
Yeah. And it was great. I mean, it's been a while since I've seen this, and don't think I have seen it since I've became like an adult. So it's probably, I don't know, maybe, how old am I? 35?
This is riveting.
It's been a while.
Hey, on the next CiNEMACHiNE, we're going to do math.
So we, I caught a lot of like this movie is a lot more adult in content as far as a lot of the themes, some of the jokes that definitely went over my head when I was a kid. Melissa and I just kept like looking at each other like laughing, like, you know, definitely didn't get that when I was a kid.
Most of the movies from that era, like if you rewatch them as an adult, they always had something in there for the parents, and we being dumb kids back when they came out, they were.
It's funny because Luna's, and I may have said this before, Luna's pretty conditioned in terms of watching movies, like slower movie. This is a pretty slow movie for a kid. Like it doesn't. There's a lot of like dialogue driven stuff, but she did really well through it. So, and she enjoyed it.
Well, I
as
think
well.
it's funny that nowadays that's considered slow.
I mean,
whereas-
it is, but it's true. I mean, in comparison, as far as for a 6-year-old, I mean, I don't know how old I was when I watched this movie, but
How many stars did she give it?
she gave it like 8 stars.
Oh,
out of how many?
Out of 5.
I can pull it up, actually. Yeah,
Oh boy.
it's like 40.
Just dead air.
All right, here
you
we
can
go.
fast forward.
Miss Doubtfire, you see that?
Oh,
Mhm.
Miss Doubtfire.
Yeah.
Look at all those stars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 stars. She added
7 bushes.
her notes were cool. Her favorite part was when the kids got to go with their dad. And her favorite character was the kids. So there you go.
There you go.
7 stars.
Thanks for that.
Yeah. Joey Lawrence.
That's all I got. I mean, I don't really need to talk about Sopranos. I'm still going. After I finish season 1, I think I'll do a little like recap on that.
I want to know.
I think I got 2 episodes left.
I want to know. Is the theme song stuck in your head yet? 'Cause
No, I skipped it.
I've been walking around saying that around the
up
house
in
for the last
morning.
I skipped
got
it.
myself a gun. I think that band is called Alabama 3, if I'm not mistaken. All right.
Sup,
Ryan.
Alabama 3.
Sup, dog. Ryan, what have you been shoving into your brain?
Yeah, I've been. This has been a very Sopranos heavy week for me.
I got a couple texts from Ryan because he doesn't want to spoil it for Brandon. He's like trying to celebrate.
And people who have watched The Sopranos, I can say it. People who have watched The Sopranos know I got to watch the Pine Barrens episode again.
That's the episode I was talking about. It might be my favorite.
So amazing.
So
yeah, it's
good.
by far the best episode.
Oh, so good. Did Buscemi direct it? I forget.
I have no idea. But yeah, other than that, just watch The Big Game and such. So I cruised through about a season and a half of The Sopranos last week.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, Steve Buscemi did direct Pine Barrens. So
Nice.
yeah, the theme song for Sopranos will get stuck in your noggin pretty easily.
Even Katie's been doing it now. That's what's funny about it.
And you have to do the low voice. You can't just go, oh my God, this one. You have to do the voice. So, Chris, have you ever watched Sopranos?
I like Brandon. I'm very new to Sopranos.
Are you watching?
Dude, you gotta watch it.
Only like halfway through season 1.
Okay. So,
And
so you're
I
watching
feel like a disgrace being an Italian American, and I actually lived in a town where they filmed it for a while, and I'm only now getting around to it.
Dude, we'll have to have you on for the show with Brandon where we talk about it.
yeah, that'll be great.
Are you still
Get
actively
Meadow
watching
and
it? 'Cause when I talked to you, Chris, you said that you started and kind of gave up a while ago.
Kelly was getting a little bored with it, even though she was the one really hyped to start it. But I mean, I think I told you right away, I could see like, okay, this is where Breaking Bad got it. And you could just see like this laid some groundwork for things to come.
It reminds me so much more. Breaking Bad definitely, but Sons of Anarchy definitely like mimed the show a lot.
Never saw that series at all.
Neither did I.
It's good.
Well, good for you guys because it's freaking great. And I'm excited you're watching it. So I know that we're going to have a good time on that episode whenever we finally do get to hear Brandon's recap of everything.
We all gonna like make some like massive pasta dish, and we all can be eating spaghetti while we're recording. Yeah.
Yeah, man, it makes me want pasta. That's why it's like on the
I know, dude. That's what I'm saying every time I watch it.
Got carb up, bro. I'm watching Sopranos.
That must be a thing later in this because they don't have a lot of it on screen in this season.
Maybe it is. I don't know.
There's a lot. They get it. They had cookbooks. They had everything back when it was in its heyday.
My best buddy had his mom had the cookbook in the kitchen.
And I've only heard the gabagool or whatever y'all say once.
Well, that one gets picked up a lot more in late season 2, early season 3.
Yeah. So, Chris may have a different, kind of experience watching that. He might be like, they're making it different than my family makes it. I don't know. Maybe that terminology isn't correct, but from what I understand, from people I've spoken to over the years about that show, it's pretty spot on to certain parts of.
It feels very Jersey, for sure.
Yeah. So,
skis and his jeans.
Al, what you been watching?
I, as everyone knows, went back home last week to celebrate my grandmother and my sister's birthdays.
Did you stay in the grandkids' room?
I did not. I never stay in there. I just set up like the office in there.
Yeah, okay, Al.
Yeah.
Top bunk all the time. So anyway, it's hard to get my dad to watch a movie. He just doesn't like to watch movies. He's
busy
like,
with Judge Judy.
Yeah, Judge Judy, Judge Joe Wallace. If it has Judge in front of it, my dad watch. He records it.
Judge Reinhold.
And they'll watch like a block of it. And then they'll watch fishing, RV shows, and then he watched some new show where people were hunting pythons. And I was like, this is...
That show's nuts,
terrible.
By the way.
It's nuts.
Same.
But anyway, it's ridiculous. So I said, hey, let's watch a movie to my dad and stepmom. And so we all watched a movie. And I let them pick... I said, what do y'all want to watch? And my stepmom wanted to watch a Christian movie. My dad said, I hear Christian all day long. I want to watch something else. That's what he said. So he was like, I hear church coming out of here, church coming out of there. So I was like, all right. So I gave him a couple options. I just started going down movies. And they're
Mandy, Mandy.
Killing of a Sacred Deer. So anyway, I was trying to find a movie that would pique my dad's interest. So I know that they like a lot of crime shows and whatnot, like the Judge shows and whatnot, and what I call yellow tape shows, like the NCIS and the Blacklist. Is that the show? And so I figured something with crime in it. All right. So I went down a couple crime movies. I got down to Prisoners, and we watched that. Neither one of them knew what it was, so I didn't let them know anything about it except for this guy's kid gets abducted. He thinks he knows who did it, so he holds somebody captive. That's all I told. I didn't tell him anything else, which I know that's a great deal of it, but that's just the synopsis of the movie.
It's pretty much the whole movie.
My dad, well, it's the trailer. So what are you gonna do? My dad was leaning forward during the movie, gasping. What did he say? What did he say? And all that. And
Al's dad voice.
and then his wife Ellen was like, "Oh, what?" And then she got a phone call in the middle and went upstairs. And she went upstairs and was like cackling.
Oh, that Ellen.
And we were watching the movie, and she came back down, and she was gone for like 20 minutes. She's like, y'all gonna push it back? What happened? And she was asking us 1,000 questions, so we had to watch that same 20 minutes. And my dad was like wanting to know what happened next, and he was upset that he had to watch the same 20 minutes again. Not like angry, but just frustrated. But I've never seen my dad like perk up to watch a movie, so it was pretty entertaining. And then we watched the movie. It's a fantastic movie, of course. I would like for us to maybe watch it on here someday. But
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, the Jills. So Jay Jilly. So yeah, my dad and Ellen were talking about that movie that night, like well after their bedtime. Like they were, so what happened with this person and that person and and then the next morning they were still, well, so that was, I didn't realize that and all that, like, Al told you that, Al said it, so all that stuff. So they were super energetic. I've never seen anything like it. I asked my dad, is this the best movie you've ever seen in your whole life or something? Because my dad's usually out. The reason he doesn't like to watch movies, he can't stand he can't stay awake more than 5 minutes for anything.
That's where you get it from.
Yeah. So anyway, so we watched it, had a great time. They enjoyed it a great deal, and still talking about it a little bit here and there. So I think that is a testament to how good that movie, again, Villeneuve. You know what I didn't realize? They filmed that movie in Conyers, Georgia. And I didn't realize they based it in Conyers, Georgia. Because
I didn't either.
The newspaper in the movie is actually Conyers, like it's a Conyers I don't know if it's an actual paper out there, but it's a Conyers, Georgia newspaper. So
yeah, that was what, 2013 when that one came out?
Yeah.
Yes. I love that movie. It's great.
We went to see that with my dad in Anderson, and it's like super tense, quiet. My dad has like a box of like Bunch of Crunch, and he's like during the movie.
Yeah,
I swear I have to get on my dad so much when I go see movies. When we used to go see movies,
Here's a candy bar. You can't shake this.
He's so loud when he always gets the loudest candy.
You think he does it on purpose?
We used to go to the gas station and get like candy to sneak in, and I remember one time he put like a couple boxes of candy in like the side of his on the inside of his belt on his pants, and when we were walking in, it slipped down and fell down to his ankles, and so it was like clucking every time he would take a step.
No, that's nothing. That's just the way I walk.
Got some loose bodies in my knee.
Yeah. Oh, the good old days of movie theaters.
That movie is so intense it makes me sweat when I watch it.
Yeah, it's so good. I've seen it probably, 6 or 7 times over the years, and it's just so well made. And
we should do a director series and feature Denis and just go through his filmography
In
at some point.
Could do it
honor
leading
of
up to
the
Dune.
coming out. The Dune
Yeah.
folks, the Dune
Be a
movie.
good
Could do
opportunity.
that.
Because I haven't seen Enemy.
Really?
I think I've seen. Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Another Jay Gilly. Chris, have you seen Prisoners?
You know, it's in here racking my brain. I can't remember if I saw it when it first came out and I saw it one time, or if I just have not caught that one.
Dude,
But I'm going to go back and watch it regardless.
Yeah.
Good thing that
it's awesome.
you asked him that, because I was about to ask a question that was spoilery.
I was thinking about like, oh, are we saying stuff we shouldn't say? So anyway, we'll probably end up covering it on the show at some point. I have a feeling, but that's maybe we will do that. If you want to see that director series, tell them where they can put that comment, Ryan.
Again.
Yeah.
Scroll down into the comments where you can let us know, or at CiNEMACHiNE Pod on Instagram. Okay, thanks.
Thank you very much,
Chris,
everybody.
where
Yeah.
can anybody find you somewhere? Grapplegram? You want to promote anything?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm just going to hang out with you guys. So hit me up in the comments. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Chris will be in the
Nice.
comments.
I'm pretty confident that you'll be back next week when Scott Pilgrim wins. So,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Mandy's winning. I mean, I'm sorry, you can still come on, but I'm just saying Mandy's winning.
I mean, the bitch.
I can tell you what's not winning: Interstellar, because I don't have a week to watch a movie, and I don't want to watch a bunch of people just crying in space. So,
It's too bad, because you're gonna.
They cry on Earth, too.
I
What's
like the
that?
fire, Brandon.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Don't vote for Brandon's movie. He's getting cocky now. He's like, hey, nobody will vote for me. And now he's all like, "Paca-chow," so it's kind of,
Yeah, that's
Brandon does
exactly
cry
what it's
during
like.
this movie, though.
yeah. He sounds
Yeah.
like the movie Cars. So, all right. Everybody, thanks so much for watching CiNEMACHiNE. Chris, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for
CiNEMACHiNE.
having me.
Thanks, Chris.
It's been a
I don't know
pleasure.
what kind of wave that was. Looked like it wasn't even a real hand.
It's my prop.
So everybody, please do vote. Please tell us what you've been watching this past week, or anytime. If there's anything that you want us to nominate, give us some ideas. We're always looking for great movies to watch. But until the next time, watch plenty of movies, and we'll see you on the next CiNEMACHiNE.
So long.